Cavaliers and the North Carroll Panthers as Andy Taylor gets his foot into it. And here come the Panthers now, working left to right in the first quarter. As the ball gets by Adam Crowell, he picks it up and goes a few yards. And here come the Panthers on offense for the first time. Just underway, South Carroll won the coin toss but deferred to the Panthers, who take over on offense deep in their own territory. The quarterback is senior John Etzel. The running backs in the three-back set, Eric Etzel, Adam Crowell, and Rick Brown. Chad Crowell's the split end, and Vince Hackler is the tight end. The offensive line, Jeff Painter at center, with Tim Hackler and Eric Wilhelm at guard, and Scott Ryan and Scott Fisher are the tackles. 1st and 10 from the 9. Eric Etzel goes in motion. And it's Crowell who breaks a tackle. He's got some speed coming near side. Crowell to the 35, and he's down at the 38-yard line. A 29-yard gain for Crowell, a big first down as Sean O'Neill made the tackle for South Carroll. Crowell broke one long last week in the win over Westminster, a touchdown and over 200 yards rushing. And he showed his good speed there, got a block, cut to his right, and took off almost 30 yards. They'll spot it at the 37-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Panthers, 4-0 on the season. 4-0 for the first time since 1982. The Cavs come in on a 3-game losing streak. They are 1-3. Rick Brown goes in motion. Again, it's Adam Crowell. This time Adam is stacked up for a loss. Several Cavs make the stop, among them Chris Duval, number 60. The South Carroll defense, the tackles are Joe Eco and Chris Duval. Vince Rusbosson and Mike Myers are the ends. Stan Mortensen, Scott Norbury, and Scott Armstrong are the linebackers. And your secondary is John Goo, Nick Stein, David Bly, and Sean O'Neill. 2nd down and 12 from the 44. North Carroll working the Delaware wing T offense. They've been running the ball extremely well this year. Again, Crowell on the toss, looks to turn the corner, but he's not there. Good speed on the outside for South Carroll. Scott Norbury makes the tackle. A gain of maybe 4 on the play brings up 3rd down and 7 for the Panthers. Brian McLean with you here from North Carroll High School. A very brisk evening. Temperatures could be down in the 30s before it's all over. Our coldest night of the fall season so far. It feels like it should be week 10 instead of week 5, but high school football, a great night for football. The Panthers and the Cavaliers. On 3rd down, inside reverse to Eric Etzel. Etzel breaks a tackle, has what appears to be a North Carroll first down close to midfield. Sean O'Neill, among others, there to finish off the stop, but Etzel has a first down for the Panthers. There's one of the bread and butter plays out of the Delaware wing T, that inside reverse that North Carroll is getting better and better at each week. They worked it a few times last week against the Owls in their 35-34 overtime win. Their 3rd win against Westminster since '88. And North Carroll again 4-0 on the season, 1-0 in the Central Maryland Conference, 2-0 in Carroll County. Play action. Etzel looking to throw, goes far side. Wide open is Hackler, who's got it to the 20, and he's inside the 15 to about the 13-yard line. O'Neill makes the tackle, but on the catch and a big play is Vince Hackler, his 8th catch of the season. The run sets up the pass. We said this last week in the Westminster game. Play action. The DB's bit for South Carroll, and Hackler was wide open, and a first down for the Panthers inside the South Carroll 15. First down for North Carroll. The wingback is Eric Etzel, the younger brother of the quarterback, John. It's the first back through the fullback, Crowell once again. Crowell gets about 5 to the 8-yard line. I did misspeak last week in talking about North Carroll and Westminster in their recent games. Actually, their last win against Westminster was in '91. North Carroll has beaten the Owls now in '88, '91, of course, '95 and '96, 4 times since '88, including this year. And a big win for North Carroll last week, once again 35-34 in overtime. 2nd down and 6, Rick Brown coming outside. Brown is inside the 5 to about the 2-yard line. He's close to a first down. And North Carroll keeping it on the ground. And that's how they come at you. Rick Brown with good numbers this year. 319 yards on 58 carries. First and goal for the Panthers at the Cavalier 2. 8:51 to play in the first quarter, just underway from Hampstead, North Carroll, and South Carroll. Now the officials call a timeout. Lanny Hinkle's our referee as we look at the Panthers sideline, decked out in their home red tonight. Lanny Hinkle, the referee. Stan Chase is the umpire. Bryant Chase is the head linesman. Frank Novotny is the field judge, and Jim Shank is the back judge. The wide out far side for North Carroll. We'll get to that in just a second. First down and goal. And it's inside a Crowell. And not much this time for Adam. Second down and goal for the Panthers. North Carroll again going for their 5th straight win. The last time they won 5 in a row in one season dates back several years to the '86 season. When they won their last 5, they wound up winning 8 straight, losing to Westminster in '87 in week 4 and ending that 8-game losing streak. Brown's got some room, but he runs out of room as South Carroll again showing its speed on the defensive ends. Nick Stein was the first to hit Rick, and it's going to be third down and goal for the North Carroll Panthers. Senior quarterback John Etzel, becoming a veteran now. He's been around for a while. John's numbers this year, 15 of 23 with 1 interception and 5 touchdowns. Has passed for 320 yards. Third down and goal just inside the 1-yard line. Etzel over center, the quarterback. He scored a few on this kind of play this year. It's how he scored in overtime last year, but they toss it instead to Crowell. Crowell looking for the corner, and he's in the end zone. Touchdown, Adam Crowell. Touchdown, North Carroll. For Crowell, his 7th touchdown of the season, and North Carroll leads 6-0. So the Panthers get the football, a 91-yard drive, capped off by the touchdown run by Adam Crowell. And you can hear the folks in the background, the North Carroll sideline kind of reserved right now, but this place is fired up, and the enthusiasm in Hampstead, the entire community is grasping this team this year. There's been a lot of support everywhere, and the Panthers off to an outstanding start, going for their 5th straight. A penalty flag is down as Bowie gets his leg into it, but hold everything. And Mr. Hinkle tells us it's going to be illegal. No, offsides against South Carroll. But that's a dead ball situation in high school, so they'll re-kick it halfway closer to the goal line. Brian McLean with you here tonight from North Carroll High School. Glad to have you along for our tape delay coverage of South Carroll and North Carroll. This the 11th meeting between these two schools. South Carroll has won all 10 of the previous meetings, including 20-14 in overtime last year at South Carroll High School in what was a thrilling ball game. And the Panthers trying to knock off the Cavs for the first time. This will be spotted at about the 8-yard line. John Etzel will put it down for Bowie. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So Bowie adds one more, and North Carroll on the scoreboard first. 7:10 to play in the first quarter from Hampstead. It's North Carroll 7, South Carroll nothing.
You can't beat this team. They're tough, and their minds are made up. Jeff Lakeham's Westminster Chevrolet Oldsmobile Cadillac Geo is stocked with tough Chevy trucks, CK and S-Series pickups, heavy hitters like Blazer, Tahoe, and Suburban. Jeff Lakeham's Westminster Chevrolet Oldsmobile Cadillac Geo. Low prices and award-winning service. Carroll County champions in truck and car sales. Nobody sells or leases for less.
The power, the passion, the pride. Oscar De La Hoya, the golden boy from East L.A., Olympic gold medalist, undefeated in his rapid rise to world champion, meets Miguel Angel Gonzalez, the Mexican marauder, undefeated two-time champion in the battle for pride and country, featuring the return of Julio Cesar Chavez, always a threat, from Caesar's Palace, live on pay-per-view.
Knockout excitement on pay-per-view.
Back at North Carroll High School, Josh Bowie kicks off for the Panthers, taken by the Cavaliers and Darren Snyder. Snyder down the far sideline across the 20 to about the 23, and the Cavs have the football for the first time. Different starting quarterback tonight. His name is Tim Molieri. Tim is a junior filling in for Lee Windsor, who got dinged last week. One of those stingers to his arm. We expect him to play tonight, but not starting this evening. He'll get some playing time later, but Tim Molieri filling in at quarterback. The running backs are Darren Snyder, Scott Norberry, and the tight end is David Kiefer. The wide receivers are Nick Stein and Sean O'Neill. The South Carroll skill players have the offensive line for you in just a second. And they give straight ahead on first down to one of the workhorses for the Cavs, Darren Snyder. Snyder among the county's leading rushers this year. Fleming giving credit for the tackle for the Panthers. Andy Taylor is the center, with Joe Eco and John Norris on the left side of the offensive line. Chris Duval and Tom Crown are on the right side. Duval the guard, Crown the tackle. Second down, and we'll call it 7 for the Cavaliers, working out of the power I, again with new quarterback Tim Molieri. Again up the middle. Clark Griffin leading the way on that play for South Carroll. And he got about 4 that time. Vince Hackler making the stop for the Panthers. It'll be 3rd down and 2 for South Carroll at the 32-yard line. The Panther defense, Eric Wilhelm and Jason Eagles are the ends, with Scott Ryan and Ben Fleming the tackles. Tim Hackler, Dan Sullivan, the team's top tackler, and Vince Hackler, along with Shag Crowell, are the linebackers. Adam Crowell and Jamel Hogan are the corners, with Eric Etzel the safety. First down yardage here for the Cavaliers and Darren Snyder. Snyder tackled close to his own 40, and a first down for the Cavs. Darren Snyder, a big game against Glenell, 125 yards and 2 touchdowns. And the South Carroll victory back on September 6th. Since then, the Cavs have lost 3 in a row to Edmondson Westside, Rockville, and Liberty. A tough loss to the Lions last week in Winfield, 17-14 in overtime was the final score. Again, Snyder, the tailback, it's about 3. Making the stop for North Carroll was number 54, Scott Ryan. Give him 3 yards on a play, second down and 7 from the 43. A lot of folks feel there's more parity this year in Carroll County High School football. Liberty's not blowing teams away like they did last year. A close game with South Carroll 1 week ago. Of course, the Panthers with a win over Francis Scott Key and Westminster already. Liberty and South Carroll, the close game. This promises to be a close one tonight. It's going to come down to who can stop the run the best as the winner tonight. Off the right side, it's Snyder, and Snyder to about the 46-yard line. Dan Sullivan giving credit for the Panthers, the Panther D. Vince Hackler, John Etzel, and Tim Hackler, the team captains for the Panthers. For South Carroll, they are Nick Stein, Sean O'Neill, and Scott Norberry. 3rd down and again 3 from the 47. Snyder. And Darren is popped. He's going to be just shy of a first down the way it looks. Finishing off the stop was Ben Fleming for the Panthers. And it appears Snyder's about a yard shy of the first down. And the punting unit coming on for South Carroll. So North Carroll, their first drive, 91 yards, capped off by the Corral touchdown, and their first series on defense stops the Cavaliers. Statistically, North Carroll has the best offense and defense in the county, averaging about 260 yards a game offensively, but allowing 237 total yards offense on the defensive side. That is also best in the county. Andy Taylor with the punt with the left foot, and here comes Crowell. Adam Crowell coming near side, has a seam, gets past Taylor, 1 man to beat to the 30, 25, and down he goes at the 22-yard line. On the return is Adam Crowell as Clark Griffin made the touchdown-saving tackle. And so far, so good for the Panthers, a la last week against Westminster when they built the first half lead of 28-0. Big play on special teams gets North Carroll in great field position. And that shows you how dangerous Crowell can be. He's already had 2 big runs tonight. The first from scrimmage, which got North Carroll out of that hole. They were back inside their own 10, got outside to the 30-yard line. And now the big punt return by Crowell. First down from the 21-yard line. Again, John Etzel, the quarterback. His brother Eric goes in motion. It's Crowell off right tackle. He's inside the 20 to the 17. Making the stop for the Cavaliers was Stan Mortensen. Again, the split end tonight for North Carroll, his name escaped me on their last drive, is Jamel Hogan, number 32. Jamel filling in for the injured Shane Littall. Shane broke his collarbone in the Westminster game last week. And this time Hogan goes wide to the far side. We wish Shane well and hope he's back on the lacrosse field next spring. A great lacrosse player, very good football player as well, one of the Panthers' top athletes. Etzel, the motion man. It's Crowell and not much at all, or excuse me, Rick Brown getting the carry. Tackling Brown was Chris Duval, number 60. And a loss on the play back to the 18-yard line. Third down and 8. And I think they're going to miss Shane Moore on defense, not to knock his offensive skills, but North Carroll is a run-oriented offense. They're going to miss Shane a lot on defense. He's a very good defensive back. And North Carroll will have to make some adjustments on the defensive side. This time the other Corral comes near side on third down and 8. Etzel will throw. Flushed out of the pocket, goes out for Brown, who makes the catch, and Brown is down close to first down yardage. He had to get to the 10-yard line. Making the stop for the Cavaliers was Nick Stein and Vince Rusbassen. And they move the chains. First down for the Panthers on a big third down play. I tell you, that was a fine catch by Brown. He had to reach for it in traffic and haul it down. And he had the presence to know where the first down marker is. And he got to the 10-yard line. So first and goal for North Carroll. 1:50 left in a rapidly moving first quarter. They lead 7-0 on the Adam Crowell touchdown. North Carroll hasn't been 5-0 since 1978. Hogan comes near side. First and goal, they toss to Crowell. Crowell with one touchdown already gets to about the 5-yard line. Hit and dropped along the far side by Scott Norbury. High school football on CB3 is brought to you by Tawnytown Bank and Trust. You can be the boss. By Krause Ford Sales in Westminster and Tawnytown. By Wheeler Chrysler Plymouth, serving Carroll County since 1929. By Westminster Motors at Route 140 at Center Street. By Carroll Community College, no place so near can take you so far. And by Cook Driving Academy, providing driver's education at your local high school. Chad Crowell goes wide far side. Second down and goal to go. Adam Crowell is hit by a wall and is dropped for a little gain, if any. Scott Norbury, among others, to make the tackle for South Carroll. Third down and goal from about the 3. North Carroll knocking on South Carroll's doors. 30 seconds left in the first quarter. Hogan brings in the play from Coach Bill Rumbaugh. Bill in his 4th season. Yes, he is 6-28 lifetime at 4-0 this year. A couple of rough seasons for Bill in his first 3 campaigns, but an outstanding season this year. Third down and goal, officially at the 3-yard line. Eric Etzel goes in motion. They toss it to him. He's got the corner, and he is in the end zone. You fake it to Crowell, you give it to Eric Etzel, who waltzes in, and North Carroll leads 13-0. Again, just like last week when the Panthers struck quickly against Westminster, scoring 21 first quarter points and 28 first half points. They score 13 here in the first quarter with just 1 tick on the clock. Josh Bowie on for the extra point. Bowie this year with 18 points. And Etzel puts it down. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Josh Bowie adds one more. And North Carroll now leads by 14. 1 second left in the first quarter from Hampstead. It's the Panthers 14, the Cavaliers nothing.
Driver's education classes are back in the high schools thanks to Cook Driving Academy. Classes are conveniently held from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. or 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at your local high school. Cook Driving Academy provides 30 hours of classroom instruction and 6 hours behind the wheel. We are insured and MBA certified, offer competitive rates and flexible payment schedules, and feature instructors who have all taught with the Carroll County Board of Education. Call Cook Driving Academy at 848-1364 and we'll get you on the road.
The power, the passion, the pride. Oscar De La Hoya, the golden boy from East L.A., Olympic gold medalist, undefeated in his rapid rise to world champion, meets Miguel Angel Gonzalez, the Mexican marauder, undefeated two-time champion in the battle for pride and country, featuring the return of Julio Cesar Chavez, always a threat, from Caesar's Palace, live on pay-per-view.
Knockout excitement on pay-per-view.
Josh Buie boots it away for the Panthers. Comes down to Darren Snyder at the 9. Snyder across the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and he's finally driven out of bounds at the 47-yard line. Snyder showing very good speed and almost deja vu for Coach Rumbaugh and the Panthers. Paul Foreman took one back last year on a kickoff return, very similar to that in that thrilling South Carroll-North Carroll game last year in Winfield. That time they knocked Snyder out of bounds. And they say he did step out a little further back. They will spot the football close to the 40. So Snyder's return not quite that good, but now they bring the football up because the quarter is over. So we'll take a break here. When play resumes, South Carroll takes over on its own 40-yard line. After the first quarter of play from Hampstead, it's the Panthers 14, South Carroll nothing.
We hear you loud and clear.
Hello, Bill Swaggerty here for Wheeler Chrysler Plymouth. Wheeler's proud to be celebrating their diamond anniversary. At Wheeler, we hear you loud and clear. When you tell us you want a fair price for your new Chrysler, we listen. When you say you want selection, we hear you. Whether you're in the market for a Chrysler Sebring convertible, Cirrus, Concord, or Town & Country, Wheeler has what you're looking for. We didn't earn our 5-star reputation without providing the service you deserve. Wheeler Chrysler Plymouth, serving Carroll County since 1921, Route 140 and 27.
Snyder steps out of bounds at the 39-yard line, so the Cavs take over now in the second quarter, underway from the 39. Snyder gets the call on first down, gets maybe 2 yards. Hit initially by Chad Crowell. Again, Darren Snyder, the South Carroll workhorse. His numbers this year, 99 carries, 434 yards, and 3 touchdowns. His game high was 125 against Glenelg. 14-0 North Carroll, early second quarter. The Cavs from Winfield looking to end a 3-game losing streak. From the power I, the toss to Snyder, the tailback. Not much at all for Snyder once again. Eric Wilhelm, among others, making the stop for the Panthers. It's going to be third down and about 7. Again, Tim Mulyery, the South Carroll quarterback, getting his first start on varsity. Filling in for the injured Lee Windsor, who we expect will get some playing time tonight, although not in the football game just yet. Mulyery over center on third down and 7. The toss back to Snyder. Snyder going outside, and down he goes at the 45-yard line. A gain of maybe 4 yards on the play. The Panthers all over the football. Crowell and Hackler along with Wilhelm all in the vicinity to make the tackle for the Panthers. And South Carroll again is 3 and out on this offensive series. 4th and 4 at the 45. Andy Taylor will punt for South Carroll. Crowell and Etzel back deep for the Panthers. Taylor's punt taken by Crowell at the 26, 35, and down at the 38-yard line. Making the tackle for South Carroll was Scott Armstrong. And the Panthers have the football once again, playing good ball control offense tonight, keeping South Carroll's offense off the field. And that unit right there will start getting tired if this continues. Of course, a lot of guys do play both ways, so that at times is a moot point in high school. But the Panthers, again, averaging about 260 yards total offense a game. In good shape right now. first down for North Carroll. Play action. Etzel hits a wide open Adam Crowell. Crowell coming near side across the 50 down to the 48-yard line. A penalty flag comes down. Nick Stein made the tackle for South Carroll. It's a Panther first down, and a flag is down. Face mask against South Carroll. Everything going the Panthers' way here in the first half. In the background, a few folks coming up from Winfield tonight to see the Cavaliers and the Panthers. And check those numbers I gave you earlier on the total offense and total defense. North Carroll better than 260 a game offensively. They're getting about 340 yards a game total yardage offensively and allowing about 221 yards defensively. Both are tops in Carroll County, and that's why they're 4-0. Part of why they're 4-0. Their numbers much better than the other numbers. And right now they have the football at the South Carroll 34-yard line, 1st and 10. Etzel, the wing back, with Crowell and Brown in the backfield. It's Brown going right side. Rick Brown is inside the 30 to about the 27-yard line. Scott Armstrong made the tackle for the Cavaliers. And North Carroll continues to chew up yardage on the ground. That time 5 for Brown. It's 2nd and 5 from the 29. North Carroll and South Carroll. And what was once a very lopsided affair, many blowouts won by the Cavaliers, several that we've had on Channel 3, but a close game last year, and the role for now is reversed as North Carroll's in command early. Etzel goes in motion, Adam Crowell coming near side. Adam bouncing off of tacklers all over the place. He is down to the 25-yard line. Finally wrapped up by the Cavaliers. Nick Stein giving credit for the tackle. It's going to be about a 4-yard gain. We'll call it 3rd down and 1 from the 25. 8:25 left in the second quarter. Great night for football. Very brisk, no wind, clear skies. A cold autumn night in Hampstead. 3rd down and 1. Brown goes in motion. It's Crowell. And Crowell has a 1st down and more to the 20-yard line. He got about 5 yards on the play and a 1st down for the Panthers. Just in their bread and butter play, and why not? Scott Armstrong with the tackle for South Carroll. But the Panthers marching downfield. They led 28-0 over Westminster at halftime last week. The Owls, behind the great running of Dante Partlow, forged a 28-28 tie. The game was put into overtime, and the difference was an extra point by Josh Bowie after the John Etzel touchdown. Eric Etzel comes in motion. Play action. John Etzel going near side. Down for Crowell, and the pass is intercepted. Intercepted by David Bly. He had Shad Crowell open in the end zone and just underthrew the football, and David Bly gets the pick. It's a touchback, and the South Carroll Cavaliers will get the football at their own 20-yard line on a huge, huge, huge play by David Bly. South Carroll's defense needed that, and they take over on the 20. Now the Cavaliers' numbers per game this year, they average 260 yards offense, and they've given up about 237 per game defensively. Those are the South Carroll numbers. A victory this year against Glenelg back on September 6th. Since then, losses to Rockville, Edmondson Westside, and Liberty. 1st down from the 20. They trail by 2 touchdowns. A fake reverse, Snyder keeps it. Snyder breaks a tackle, gets about 5, maybe 6 yards. Making the stop for the Panthers was Eric Etzel. But one of the bigger plays from scrimmage here in the first half from the Cavaliers. Snyder got 6 on the play. We'll call it 2nd down, a short 4. David Kiefer checks out for the Cavs. Tim Molieri brings in the play. Number 16, the young quarterback for South Carroll. Added to the roster earlier this week. Nick Stein comes near side. Sean O'Neill goes to the far side. From the I formation, it's Snyder, the tailback. Darren has a hole straight ahead, has a 1st down and more. Still on his feet across the 45. Now the football has come loose, and North Carroll has recovered. Snyder has fumbled, and the Panthers have recovered in South Carroll territory. Unbelievable. The Panthers have the football. Hogan on the recovery for the Panthers, number 32. And North Carroll will have it in South Carroll territory. Chad Crowell forced the fumble, and Jamel Hogan recovered. And after a big play from Snyder, the football comes loose, and the Panthers get it right back, both teams with one turnover. 6:43 left in the half, 14-0 Panthers. Eric Etzel, the wingback. Inside reverse to him. He's got a lot of running room. Etzel near side, 25 and down at the 20-yard line. Again on the tackle for South Carroll was Sean O'Neill, but about a gain of, let's see, from the 46 to the 20, 26 yards. Another first down for the Panthers. That inside reverse is so pretty when it's run well. The Liberty Lions ran it to perfection last year, and North Carroll is running it to perfection this year. First down at the South Carroll 20-yard line. 6:25 left in the first half. Hogan comes near side. Brown starts his motion. Adam Crowell off the right side. Gets about 5. Vince Rusbosson there to make the stop for South Carroll. Scott Ryan also giving credit. Second down, we'll call it 6 from the 17. Chad Crowell this time comes near side. Panthers again threatening. Brown starts his motion. Another reverse, this time coming inside to Eric Etzel, who was tackled at the 8-yard line. Scott Norbury made the stop for South Carroll, but a first and goal for North Carroll. They spot the football at the 9. First down, Panthers. Bill Rumbaugh, the head coach for North Carroll, assisted by Craig Walker, Scott Chadwick, Brian Wetzel, David Dotson, along with Steve Bowser, John Piper, and 3 guys I neglected to mention last week. They weren't on our roster at the time, but don't forget about Robbie Johnson, Tim Greenwood, and Matt Flanagan, the other assistant coaches for the Panthers. First and goal from the 9. Brown, near side. Brown inside the 5 to about the 4-yard line. Again, making the tackle was Sean O'Neill. And an injured Cavalier down at about the 2-yard line. I believe that's Mike Draper. And Mike is in pain at the 1-yard line. A timeout on the field, so we'll take a timeout as well. Stay with us. North Carroll threatening once again. 5:06 to play in the first half from Hampstead. It's the Panthers of North Carroll 14, South Carroll nothing.
You can't beat this team. They're tough, and their minds are made up. Jeff Lakeham's Westminster Chevrolet Oldsmobile Cadillac Geo is stocked with tough Chevy trucks. CK and S-Series pickups. Heavy hitters like Blazer, Tahoe, and Suburban. Jeff Lakeham's Westminster Chevrolet Oldsmobile Cadillac Geo. Low prices and award-winning service. Carroll County champions in truck and car sales. Nobody sells or leases for less.
The power, the passion, the pride. Oscar De La Hoya, the golden boy from East LA, Olympic gold medalist, undefeated in his rapid rise to world champion, meets Miguel Angel Gonzalez, the Mexican marauder, undefeated 2-time champion in the battle for pride and country, featuring the return of Julio Cesar Chavez, always a threat, from Caesar's Palace, live on pay-per-view.
Knockout excitement on pay-per-view.
Well, it's always great to see a guy, when he goes down, gets up on his own power and makes his way off the field. Mike Draper was the banged-up Cavalier. Looks like it's an ankle or a foot injury, and he's hobbling a bit coming off the field, but he should be okay. Big guy like that, 6'2", 225. It's not hard to bang up the knees or ankles every once in a while, and hopefully Mike will be back in the football game later on. Second down and goal for North Carroll at the 4-yard line. 14-0 Panthers second quarter. They toss it back to Adam Crowell, and Crowell is wrapped up at the 4-yard line. Great pursuit by Scott Norbury to make the tackle for South Carroll. Gene Brown, the head coach for South Carroll. Gene back for his 4th season, or I beg your pardon, his 5th season, his 21st year overall as an assistant coach and head coach combined, his 5th year as the head coach. His lifetime record 18-26 as the Cavs call a timeout. Gene's assistant coaches this year are Joe McCullough and Jerome Ellis. Other assistant coaches are Jeff Alisakis, Scott Esworthy, Bill Marishoff, Mike Behan, Colin Clark, Bill Palmer, and Gary Myers. Mike Roten also helping out Gene Brown. Again, Gene in his 5th year as the head coach, 18-26 overall. So all North Carroll so far, both teams have turned it over once. The Panthers throwing an interception. John Etzel throwing an interception in the second quarter. Pass was picked off by David Bly. And the ensuing drive for the Panthers, or for the Cavaliers, excuse me, they fumbled, a Darren Snyder fumble, recovered by Jamel Hogan. Bill Rumball, what a story this year once again. 4-0, his team off to its best start in 14 seasons. Again, the last time they won 5 in a row in one game was the '86 season. The Panthers that year, they were 6-4 in the final year of the MVAL for North Carroll. Of course, '87 was the first season of what's known now as the Central Maryland Conference. Robbie Johnson, an assistant coach, and Tim Greenwood were both outstanding that season. Robbie was the sophomore running back, Tim the senior quarterback, both part of that backfield that included 2 all-MVAL first-team running backs. They were Ron Cullison and Ron Diggs, who are both state troopers these days. They'll throw here, and the pass is going to be incomplete. Etzel's pass along the far side intended for his younger brother falls incomplete. It'll be 4th down. That's one of the sidebars to the North Carroll program. Both Cullison and Diggs currently state troopers and part of that Panther success back in the mid-'80s. In fact, Ron Cullison recently won the Trooper of the Year from the Maryland State Police. So what kind of goodies for the North Carroll program tonight. They'll attempt a field goal here. This will be an extra point length, 20 yards from the near hash mark. Etzel will be the spotter, and Josh Billy will attempt the field goal. A 20-yard effort, and the kick is up, and the kick appears to be wide right, and yes, it is. The kick is wide right, and Bowie's effort is no good. So South Carroll will get the football back at the 20-yard line. Checking the clock, 4:29 left in the first half. Enthusiasm, you better believe it. These people haven't seen winning football at North Carroll in quite a while. And the Panthers looking to become 5-0 for the first time since 1978. That winning streak, by the way, they won 5 in a row to finish off the '86 season, then won the first 3 games in '87 to have an 8-game winning streak, and then it was ended by Westminster. First down for the Cavs, Snyder the tailback, and Snyder a short gain. Tackle was made by Scott Ryan. Gain of about 2 on the play. We'll make it 1 yard. 1 yard gain on the play. Second down and 9 from the 21. Yeah, we've said it a lot this fall. We'll continue to say it. It's been a story. It's been quite a story. Panthers into the CMC now, 1-0 in conference play after their win over Westminster. South Carroll 0-1 in the CMC after losing to Liberty last week. The Owls of Westminster tonight playing Thomas Johnson. Liberty's playing Linganore in other CMC action. And this time it's a counter play. It's not Snyder. They go near side to the fullback. That was Scott Norbury. Scott, a senior, 5'8", 170. Eric Wilhelm made the tackle after a 5-yard gain. We'll call it 3rd down and 4 from the 26. 3:25 left in the first half. Westminster 2-2 on the season. They've lost 2 in a row. Liberty is 2-2. They've won 2 in a row. Francis Scott Key playing tomorrow on the road at Boonesboro. Key is 1-3 after a loss to Catoctin. On 3rd down, the pass is incomplete, intended to Nick Stein. Tim Molieri attempts his first pass of the night, overthrowing his intended receiver. It brings up 4th and 4, and again, the punting unit coming on Andy Taylor and the rest of the South Carroll punting unit. Cavaliers shut out tonight. They've had 4 or 5 series. One series ended in a fumble, and the others have ended in punts. See how cold it is. You can see Taylor's breath as he gets this one away. A low kick takes a South Carroll bounce, picked up by Crowell at the 38. Adam Crowell trying to turn the corner as he reverses his field. He's down at the 35-yard line. Several Cavs to make the stop. David Bly back there along with Scott Armstrong. But North Carroll's got some time here. They have 2 minutes and 50 seconds plus all 3 of their timeouts to get another score here. The touchdowns for North Carroll tonight by Adam Crowell and Eric Etzel. They lead 14-0, and they begin this drive at their own 35. Chad Crowell, Adam's brother. He's the wide out near side. The backs are split, Brown and the other Crowell, with Eric Etzel, the wingback. It's Adam Crowell for about 2. Lots of Crowells, lots of Etzels, and lots of Hacklers on this Panther team. Second down for the Panthers. Tom Crown giving credit for that last stop. Second down, we'll call it 8 from the 37. John Etzel looking to put it up here, going across the middle, and the pass is incomplete, intended for his brother Eric. Penalty flag is down as Nick Stein and David Bly were on the coverage for South Carroll. Flag is dropped back at the 35-yard line. Lanny Hinkle, our referee, tells us holding against the Panther offense. South Carroll will take the penalty and not the play, so this will back up North Carroll to the 25-yard line. Of course, they're talking about that right now. Let's hold on here. If they take the play, it'll be 3rd and 12. If they don't, it'll be 2nd down and 18. Or 3rd and 8, I should say. 3rd and 8 or 2nd and 18 are the Cavaliers' choices. Holding against North Carroll, and yes, they will take the penalty. Coach Rumbaugh coming up from Loudoun County, Virginia a few years back. 2nd down and 18. They bring the football back to the 28-yard line. .213 left in the first half. Same offensive set, the Delaware wing tee. Inside reverse, Brown hands off to Etzel, and Etzel tripped up and tackled at the 33. Scott Norbury on the tackle for South Carroll. 3rd and 12, and a timeout is called by South Carroll. The Cavaliers burn their second. They have 1 left, and we'll take one with them. Stay with us. Just inside the 2-minute mark here before halftime. 1:57 to play in the second quarter from Hampstead. It remains North Carroll 14, South Carroll nothing.
We hear you loud and clear.
Hello, Bill Swaggerty here for Wheeler Chrysler Plymouth. Wheeler is proud to be celebrating their diamond anniversary. At Wheeler, we hear you loud and clear. When you tell us you want a fair price for your new Plymouth, we listen. When you say you want selection, we hear you. Whether you're in the market for a Plymouth Neon, Breeze, or Voyager, Wheeler has what you're looking for. We didn't earn our 5-star reputation without providing the service you deserve. Wheeler Chrysler Plymouth, serving Carroll County since 1921, Route 140 and 27.
Back at North Carroll High School, Brian McLean here. The Panthers running game continues to churn out the yardage. Adam Crowell with 60 yards already in the first half, and Eric Etzel 51 yards. Some of the numbers here in the first half. 3rd down for the Panthers. Etzel across the middle, and the pass is intercepted. You saw it coming, picked off by Sean O'Neill. O'Neill down the far sideline is pushed out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Etzel's 2nd interception of the game, his 3rd of the season, And now the Cavaliers wisely calling that timeout, keeping some time on the clock for them, 1:45 left. And if South Carolina gets in the end zone here before halftime, it's, of course, a whole new ball game. There's a guy playing a nice defensive game tonight, Sean O'Neal. He's got about 6 or 7 tackles, and now an interception. David Bly with the other. 1st and 10 for South Carolina at the Panther 23. South Carolina with 1 timeout left. O'Neal comes wide to the near side. The toss back to Snyder. Snyder off the right side, gets to about the 16-yard line. Adam Crowell to finish off the tackle, initially hit by Eric Etzel. They give Snyder 7 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 3 at the 15. Tim Moyeri, the quarterback. Near side this time is Nick Stein, number 21. 2nd down and 3. They toss to Snyder. Snyder breaks 1 tackle, breaks 2 tackles, going far side, and Snyder is in the end zone. Touchdown, South Carroll. 15 yards for Darren Snyder, and it's now 14-6, North Carroll. Snyder's 4th touchdown of the season gets the Cavaliers on the scoreboard. And a costly late first half turnover committed by the Panthers. Snyder now with 77 yards in the first half, plus the touchdown. That's 13 fantasy football points, if you're keeping track. The Cavs on for the extra point, and a timeout's called by South Carroll. So they trail 14-6, 1:08 to play in the first half. Yes, a sick mind by yours truly. They call me the Roto Geek. Rotisserie baseball, fantasy football, and lo and behold, hold on to your chairs, rotisserie hockey for the first time. Yes, I've delved into the world of rotisserie hockey. 24 rounds of drafting. That's a different story there for a different time, but high school football tonight. South Carroll and North Carroll. Again, the Panthers have never beaten the Cavaliers. This is the 11th meeting between these two schools. South Carroll 10-0 during the course of the years, and really a lot of blowout wins for the Cavs over that time period. Last year's game being one of the closer games as Lee Windsor scored in overtime to beat North Carroll 20-14, a thrilling ball game. John Etzel and then running back, I believe Brian Hall for North Carroll scored the Panther touchdowns in that one, and South Carroll won by 6. Adam Taylor for the extra point. O'Neal puts it down. The kick is up, plenty of length, and the kick is good. And South Carroll is within 7. We'll take a break here. 1:08 to play in the first half from Hampstead. It's now North Carroll 14, South Carroll 7.
You can't beat this team. They're tough, and their minds are made up. Jeff Legum's Westminster Chevrolet Oldsmobile Cadillac Geo is stocked with tough Chevy trucks, CK and S-Series pickups, heavy hitters like Blazer, Tahoe, and Suburban. Jeff Legum's Westminster Chevrolet Oldsmobile Cadillac Geo. Low prices and award-winning service. Carroll County champions in truck and car sales. Nobody sells or leases for less.
Here come the Panthers now on the kickoff return. Taylor gets his foot into it. And the Panthers in the final moments of the first half, Alan Hughes on the return for North Carroll. He is tackled at the 37-yard line. The Panthers have some time, all 3 timeouts with 1 minute and 1 second left in the second quarter. Of course, North Carroll wants to be careful here and not turn the football over again. 2 John Etzel interceptions tonight. The second one resulting in what eventually would be a touchdown for South Carroll. Again, the touchdown by Darren Snyder. Snyder with 77 yards tonight in the first half. The Cavalier workhorse. Crowell wide to the far side. Eric Etzel, the wing back, on 1st and 10. John Etzel, the quarterback. Hands off to Brown. Rick Brown coming near side. And Brown is tackled at the 40. Making the stop for South Carroll was number 71, Vince Rusbosson. And a timeout is called by the Panthers. North Carroll calls their first timeout. They have 2 remaining. Again, other CMC action going on tonight. Some intriguing matchups around the county. Liberty hosting Linganore in Eldersburg. Liberty 2-2, a 2-game winning streak, playing the defending Class 2A state champion Lancers. Linganore with an outstanding football program for a number of years, but some feel they could be beatable this year. In fact, Linganore comes in with the same record as Liberty at 2-2 on the season. The other intriguing matchup tonight has Westminster at Thomas Johnson. TJ, a very good program in Frederick County, but they are also 2-2. Keep in mind, though, their 2 losses this year have been by a combined total of about 6 points. So they'll be tough once again with 7 players back from last year's squad that was 9-1 and won the Central Maryland Conference and got beat by Dunbar in the state playoffs. The Francis Scott Key Eagles playing playing Boonesboro this weekend, coming off a loss to Catoctin. The question for the Key Eagles is which team's going to show up for that one? The one that beat Smithsburg at home or the one that lost to a winless Catoctin team on the road? Coach Coon's bunch at Boonesboro tomorrow. 2nd down and 7 for the Panthers at their 40. Again, 2 timeouts left, 49 seconds remaining in the first half. And flags are thrown, some movement at the line of scrimmage. Both lines jump, but South Carroll's line jumped first. Just a question of whether they crossed the plane or not before the Panther offensive lineman moved. Nope. Offensive illegal procedure against the Panthers. The defensive line can move as long as they don't cross into the neutral zone. And more often than not, you'll see the defensive line move a bit and the offensive line reacts to that, which results in the illegal procedure penalty and backs them up 5. Some concern on Coach Rumball's face, and after the interception and now penalty, well, perhaps reason for it, but lots of football left at North Carroll High School. The toss to Adam Crowell. Adam at the 40 and out of bounds at about the 42. Forced out by Scott Norberry and Nick Stein. And they will spot the football at the Panther 43, stopping the clock with 44 seconds. 3rd down, and we'll call it 4 for the Panthers. Chad Crowell comes near side, and John Etzel wants a timeout. And we will take one. Once again, 44 seconds left in the first half from Hampstead. It's the Panthers with the football, and they lead South Carroll 14-7.
We hear you loud and clear.
Hello, Bill Swaggerty for Wheeler Chrysler Plymouth. Are you in the market for a quality used truck, Jeep, or minivan? At Wheeler, we hear you loud and clear. Wheeler has a huge selection of previously owned vehicles and a proven track record that can put your mind at ease. Wheeler allows only the best trucks, Jeeps, and minivans onto their lot. All clean, dependable, and all must pass over 100 inspection points. Wheeler knows that your satisfaction will bring you back. This philosophy has helped them reach their 75-year diamond anniversary. Wheeler Chrysler Plymouth, Route 140 and 27, Westminster.
Brian McLean back here at North Carroll High School. The Panthers, after their timeout, have it 3rd down and 4. Rick Brown straight ahead has a Panther first down as he is tackled at the 48-yard line. Panthers have 1 timeout remaining as Chris Duval made the stop for South Carroll. They move the chains. 39, 38, 37 seconds left in the half. Panthers got to hurry. Near midfield, leading by 7. Outside on an end around to Rick Brown, who's got some daylight, and Rick is tackled at the 43-yard line. He got about 8 yards on the carry, and North Carroll will burn a timeout here, their final timeout. So both teams out of timeouts, and the clock is stopped with 20 seconds left. So the Panthers have some time here to run off probably 2 plays. Josh Bowie's field goal range between 35 and 40 yards. There's no wind blowing tonight. He hit one against Westminster last week that was no good, but had the distance from about 40 yards out. And right now, North Carroll would have to get about 20 yards to get into field goal position for Josh Bowie. And they have 20 seconds to do so as John Etzel comes in with the play from Coach Rumball. 14-7 North Carroll. Touchdowns from Crowell and Eric Etzel. South Carroll responded after an interception by Sean O'Neill. A few plays later, Darren Snyder got in the end zone. And that is the scoring summary so far. Rick Brown in the backfield, joined by Adam Crowell. They split. 2nd down and 2. Inside reverse, Brown to Eric Etzel, and Etzel is tackled for a loss back at the 47-yard line. That's probably going to do it here for the first half. Armstrong giving credit for the tackle for South Carroll as the final seconds tick off here in the first half, and that's going to do it. The Panthers of North Carroll going for their 5th straight victory. South Carroll looking to end a 3-game losing streak. We are at intermission. It's halftime from Hampstead, and our score through 2 quarters of play, the North Carroll Panthers 14, the South Carroll Cavaliers 7.
You can't beat this team. They're tough, and their minds are made up. Jeff Lakeham's Westminster Chevrolet Oldsmobile Cadillac Geo is stocked with tough Chevy trucks, CK and S-Series pickups, heavy hitters like Blazer, Tahoe, and Suburban. Jeff Lakeham's Westminster Chevrolet Oldsmobile Cadillac Geo. Low prices and award-winning service. Carroll County champions in truck and car sales. Nobody sells or leases for less.
And we're about set to get started here in the second half from North Carroll High School. The Panthers and the Cavaliers. Brian McLean back here. The Panthers lead by 7. Crowell and Eric Etzel getting in the end zone in the first half. Darren Snyder doing so for the Cavs. He awaits back deep now as Josh Bowie gets his leg into it. And the second half is underway from North Carroll High School. The up back takes it at about the 12-yard line. And coming near side for the Cavaliers is Steve Heinrich. And Steve gets across the 35 to about the 36-yard line. Some first half numbers here from North Carroll. Adam Crowell, a big half, 67 yards on 14 carries and 1 touchdown. Rick Brown, 30 yards on 8 carries. And quarterback John Etzel, 3 of 6 for 79 yards and 2 interceptions, his second being very costly, resulting in the South Carroll touchdown. For the Cavaliers, Darren Snyder, the workhorse, of course, 77 yards and a touchdown. And the young quarterback, Tim Molieri, just 0 for 1 through the air. First downs in the first half, 10 for North Carroll, 2 for South Carroll. Snyder on first down gets the call, and he is to the South Carroll 40-yard line. Molieri starting at quarterback tonight for South Carroll. The running backs once again, Sean O'Neill, or rather Darren Snyder and Scott Norbury. The wide receivers are Nick Stein and Sean O'Neill, with David Kiefer, the tight end. Andy Taylor, Joe Eco, John Norris, Chris Duval, and Tom Crown are the offensive line. 2nd down and 6 for South Carroll. And Lee Windsor in at quarterback now for the Cavaliers. Number 17 takes his second snap, gives to Darren Snyder, who is stopped at the line of scrimmage. The Panther defense, Eric Wilhelm and Jason Eagles are the ends, with Scott Ryan and Ben Flaming the tackles. The 4 linebackers are Tim Hackler, who just made that tackle, Dan Sullivan, Vince Hackler, and Chad Crowell. Adam Crowell and Jamel Hogan are the cornerbacks. Eric Etzel is the safety. 3rd and 5 for the Cavaliers from the 42. Sean O'Neill comes near side. 14-7 North Carroll, 3rd quarter underway. Lee Windsor back to pass for the first time. So he's trying to set up a screen, and it's almost intercepted. Intended for O'Neill. Vince Hackler had his hands on it, but couldn't quite come up with it. And the incomplete pass rules, the pass is ruled incomplete, and it brings up a 4th down for South Carroll. 3 turnovers in the game. South Carroll fumbled once. North Carroll threw 2 interceptions. The interceptions by South Carroll were by Nick Stein, or rather Sean O'Neill, Sean O'Neill and David Bly with the interceptions. The South Carroll fumble recovery was by Jamel Hogan. Windsor punts it, taken by Adam Crowell at the 24. Crowell going far side. A penalty flag is down as Crowell is tackled at the 32-yard line. Flag down back at the 27-yard line, waiting for the official word. Actually, there's 2 penalty flags down. One's down at the 27 and the other is down at the 42. Head coach Gene Brown looking on in his 5th season as the head coach. The Cavs 2-8 last year, with wins over Wild Lake and North Carroll. A clipping penalty against the receiving team, North Carroll. Lanny Hinkle, our referee tonight. Stan Chase is the umpire. Brian Chase, the head linesman. Frank Novotny's the field judge, and Jim Schenk is the back judge. The penalty, one of them is declined. That was the penalty back at the 42-yard line. And now we have this penalty, which they'll mark off from about the 27. So 2 clips on the penalty. This will back North Carroll up to their own 14-yard line. So they'll begin their first series of the second half.